If you're on a winning streak, watch this before it's too late. And if you're on a losing streak, there's still hope. Watch this till the end. Hot and cold streaks have a psychological effect on every single trader. When you're on a hot streak, you feel more confident. You're almost more willing to take on risks. On the other hand, when you're in a cold streak, you start to lose motivation. You start to hesitate when you trade. This can turn into a dangerous mindset fast. It's really common in a hot streak for one to become vulnerable to making sloppy mistakes. You get more confident, so all of a sudden you stop going through your checklist, you start skipping some confirmations because you think that it's gonna go the way that it has to go. So overconfidence is definitely possible. But skipping these processes are ironic because it's doing those things that led to the results that you wanted in the first place. When the losses start to stack up, traders start to hesitate. You're not taking the trades that would have been winners. And yeah, maybe you don't trade some losers too, but the biggest thing is you start to miss the winners. And because you're hesitating, it's just a downward spiral. Same thing is when you're in a winning streak, you start to skip confirmations. You're taking trades out of hope. Maybe it'll just salvage you from the losing streak. Some start to risk more to get out of the hole faster, and other people, they actually start to risk less because they're operating out of fear. So two things can really happen. You get too big for the little things, and in reality you end up becoming so small for all the big things, or you make yourself too small for the big things and you actually never end up doing the things that you've built the confidence, you've built the proof to go and do. The details, the process oriented, the meticulousness, that's what probably led to a good winning streak. Being process oriented, focusing, these are the things that lead to duplicatable results. When the wins start to add up, we're susceptible to believing that we are the all-seeing eye, that we are the winners. But in reality, it's not us, it's the plan that we're executing properly. So we are not the factor, it's our plan that we're executing over long enough time that is giving us the results that we want. The objective is to get back to a neutral state and execute from there. So when you're on a winning streak, win, you want to get back to that neutral state and get back to the point where the probabilities reset every single time. When you're losing and you're losing and you're losing, remember, even if you're winning or you're losing, the probabilities you already know. You've already established those through your trading plan, through the back testing. That's why you're trading in the first place now, right? This is why you're now trading live, or why you're going through whatever accounts that you're doing. It's because you've now built enough proof to do this. The probabilities reset every trade. Staying aware allows you to keep a neutral state and brings the ego in check. You are the thermostat. You're not the thermometer, right? You set the temperature. You get to get excited or get depressed or just stay in a neutral state. So you get to decide that. Don't allow the outcomes to start to invade the thermostat. So don't allow the outcomes to change you up so that all of a sudden you're doing this or you're doing that. The results shouldn't be shifting your emotions, or at least you might even feel them, but you don't have to execute based on those things. Regardless of how successful the day, the week, the month, the quarter was, that's not what gives you an advantage. The discipline combined with your refined skills over time, that's what's giving you the results. On the flip side, right, streaks of losses, they're unavoidable. Even the best undergo losing streaks. In fact, the best traders are the best because of the recovery time, because of how long or how short it takes for them to bounce back physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Look at traders like Sis, Kyle Bass, BNF, legend retail traders. Look at their stories. It's not just it's just not some exponential boost. You'll see major pullbacks, losses in the millions before their biggest days, weeks, quarters, months, years. Performers at the highest level didn't get there, right? 5, 10, 15, 20 years later. They don't have that status because of the one time they won, because of the one time they lost. They have that, like I said, because of the recovery time. You miss a shot, you lose a game, you lose the finals, your music release flops, you get knocked down, whatever it is, it doesn't define you. You're not gonna see Steph Curry miss a shot and then go hesitate the next time. What happens? Misses a shot, moves on to the next. Finds the right setup, right? Finds the right space, takes the shot. Why? Because he already knows how good he is. He's not waiting for a shot to go in to let him know, hey, you are good at this. No, he already knows. I'd rather go on a losing streak based on a disciplined approach rather than win in a non-duplicatable fashion. I'd rather win by my plan or lose by my plan than win by someone else's bias. That's not building me up. That's not building any type of evidence. I'm not getting better at this. Everything either builds or destroys our habits. Everything is connected. There's cause and effect. So if you're winning by ways you don't understand, it's gonna destroy what you've been doing, what you've been building up. And then what happens when you lose by a different approach? And now it's creating all this confusion and this chaos as your own identity as a trader. A losing streak, it doesn't mean your trading system doesn't work. This recency expectancy, right? This what you're feeling right now, it's invading what you think. So you might be so zoomed in, you might be so focused on the most recent feeling that it's actually making it seem worse than it really is. If you're experiencing some type of streak, just remember that last trade has nothing to do with the next. The last winner doesn't mean anything, the last loser doesn't mean anything. It's a whole new set of probabilities as long as you're emotionally neutral. If you're executing a plan that you have a track record with, this current streak, it really doesn't define the overall plan. You're not in a testing phase with your trading system. If you're in a winning streak or in a losing streak, that doesn't change whether it works or not. Now, over a long enough time, then of course you get to reevaluate, but most often, the reason your trading system might not be working isn't because of the system, it's because you keep changing it before you have enough proof. So focus on delivering. You have to get through the trade. You have to go through the setups. Sometimes you're in a streak and sometimes you're not. That's just how the odds play out. So remember, take the experience and leave the outcomes behind. The streaks that you're in right now, it doesn't define you. It doesn't define your plan. Get back to square one, keep that neutral mindset, and live to trade another day.